people who deal with weather within IBM, so it's really exciting to be part of this. I'm going to talk to you about how weather and video analytics can help empower your business. So one of the first questions I have for you guys, how many of you were cold on your way to the expo this morning? All right, good. Did any of you, and I've gotten a lot of yeses on this, have any of you taken a cab this morning instead of walking because it was so cold? All right. So I want you to understand, that is your personal experience with weather today. Not only did you dress appropriately, but you also changed how you commuted to work. But this data is how you plan a weekend getaway. This is how you actually travel, aviation, flight delays. And that's just your experience. So imagine scaling this up to a postal code, to a demographic, to a region. Just like you have a weather strategy ingrained in you around how you dress, we are giving you the tools to help embed that strategy within your retail business. So one of the best ways to get started with weather is around advertising. So this is focusing around those impulse buys. It's all around making sure you have the right product in that digital ad at the right time for the right person. And it can be a trigger as simple as, is it sunny? Is it cloudy? It can get a little bit more complex. Different people in different regions feel warm is different for their area than others. But we also have brought in retail data to understand how weather is impacting demand for specific product categories. So if it's something like salty snacks, we can understand where are people actually buying salty snacks. It can be around beauty and hair products. So we actually positioned an index known as the Frizz Index. It looked at humidity for how hair behaves in certain weather, and we positioned the exact Pantene product that a person needed to fix that issue. We drove year-over-year revenue gains by 23% by making sure we had the right ad in the right place at the right time. So we can also take in things and predict footfall. So when are you expecting more people at the store? In this case, a major sandwich chain, Subway, actually positioned this for several products. They saw 31% gain year over year for those products and drove 20,000 new customers to their stores using this data. Now, the wonderful thing about weather, it's not just what's happening right now. Weather can be forecast. So whether it's the next hour, whether you're talking about the next day, the next week, or even 6 months from now, there are weather forecasts that can help you position your right supply chain logistics to have the product where you need at the right time. And this is what we call weather signals. So what we can do is we can look at any metric that your company has, whether it's unit sales, whether it's unit revenue, whether it's product category, but it can even be things like footfall at store location. It can be number of returns. It can be calls to your service center. And we can find the weather insight for what is driving that business, both by weather variable as well as by location. So in this case, I kind of like this example, it's fun. So Florida is very humid and tropical during the summer. So you would think, when it's hot out, well, obviously people are going to want a nice cold beer to cool off. Well, actually, it is so oppressive in Florida, nobody is outside when it's hot. They're in their air conditioning, they're in the cold. It's actually when it's raining and when it's windy that people get that respite from the heat, and they're sitting in their enclosed porches buying beer, relaxing, and that's where you see that huge surge in sales. And that's just one story for one location. So we can take that forecast and look at the demand by day. So if you're looking, it could be as simple as a planogram shift. If there's certain products you should move to the front of the store next day, or it could be around replenishment, demand. Or if you understand the footfall, you can look at this from a labor perspective. So one of your largest costs per store, you can use weather data to understand when you should be adding more people onto a shift and when you should be pulling people off. Because you want to maintain the integrity of your customer experience, while at the same time cost savings. So across the board, we actually have a company here in the States, a multi-billion-dollar lawn and garden company, Scott's Miracle-Gro, who is using this product today. They are very seasonal. 70 to 85% of their business is completed in 4 months of the year. Okay. So they're actually using this product. They knew in January that they were going to see a 10% loss in sales in the month of April. And we forecasted that by 0.1%. So they pulled back their marketing spend. The model predicted that conditions would be right for sales in the month of May. They doubled down their marketing spend in the month of May, and they had a record revenue month. And in fact, now Scott's is coming out and reporting that they generated $30 million in 2018 alone by using our product. So it's very exciting. So once you drive business into your stores, you can then take advantage of the existing infrastructure at your store locations to provide additional analytics around the customer experience. So I'm going to have Florian here take over to talk about integrated video analytics.
Thanks, Matt.
Intelligent.
So yes, I'm gonna show you how you can use your existing infrastructure, your cameras, your video management system to improve store operations and enhance the in-store experience. And we created 10 demos here that represent 10 retail use cases. I'm gonna go through the top 4, and then if you want, you can ask me questions later on and I can show you the other ones. So let's start with the customers entering the store, which is our most common use cases, I guess. So we detect people as they enter the store, and we can count them. Also, when they look at the camera, we detect their faces, and we can provide demographics information such as gender and age. If the customer is a VIP, somebody who has provided a picture, also provided their consent, and provided their information, we can do face recognition as they enter the store. This lady is a VIP, so we're going to have a customer number. This can pop up on the manager's or the sales assistant iPad, and then they can come and greet the customer and knowing what they've purchased in the past. So next, I'm going to show you queue monitoring. So we here monitor the line, the length of the line at a coffee shop. This is the coffee shop inside a supermarket. So right now the line is short, there's nobody yet. But then we're going to fast forward. The line is becoming medium sized, and then the line is long. So we trigger an alert so that the manager can come and help the sales assistant to assist the customers faster and increase customer satisfaction. So instead of counting people, we could have counted people, that's what we did in the previous video. But here we used another approach where we just estimate the size of the line just by looking at it. So we trained a model, we used a product called Power AI Vision. It's a user interface, anybody can use it. They bring their videos, they bring their images, they just label them, they click a button, and it creates a model for them, a deep learning model that we can plug into the product. So you don't need to be an expert to add capabilities to our product. And so for example, we did it for the line. I said we also did it to recognize the manager. The manager is wearing a pink shirt and blue pants. We trained a model that recognizes people with that kind of clothing. So next, yep.
Can you identify who is the manager? How can you identify who is the manager?
Okay. So how can I identify who the manager is? So we have two options, I guess. One option is if people are wearing uniforms, we train a model that detects uniforms. That's what we did here. Another option would be to apply face recognition. If the camera can see the person's face and you have a picture of the store assistants, you can do that as well. So here we are at the checkout counter now of the store, and people come with their carts, they come with their baskets, and you see here we have an empty basket. The lady is ready to pay, that's fine, it is good. But this couple here, they're emptying their basket, but they're leaving one item in the basket. So this says non-empty cart. And once the manager is done scanning the products, he's going to tap a button to initiate payment, and that's going to create an alert that says, hey, these people cannot pay yet, there's an item left in the cart. So he's going to let them know. Meanwhile, there's a basket here that's not empty that we detect just as well, even though it's at the edge. So he just told them. And now it goes from non-empty to empty. So fraud is a huge source of revenue loss in grocery stores, so this helps prevent one kind of fraud at least. And the fourth scenario I'm going to show you is about out-of-stock detection. So here we're monitoring the shelves at the supermarket, and these people are going to take a bunch of potato chips so that now you have gaps in your shelves. So we use a model that does object removal detection. It's very generic. It wasn't trained just for that store. It works for a variety of situations. It just sees that there used to be an object and now it's not here. So it triggers an alert and the manager can come and replenish the shelves. So we're gonna wait for the second alert. Here it is, 2 alerts. So we have other scenarios I can talk about. There's scan avoidance, abandoned carts, tripping hazards, restricted area monitoring, heat maps, and just let me know if there's anything you want to talk about.
Could you explain more about the heat map?
Heat map? Okay. So let's jump to heat maps. So this shows our UI. I mean, you don't have to use our UI. You can use your own. I mean, we have an API where we provide alerts in queues. We have a database. You can use whatever you want. But here, if you use our UI, we can enter a few parameters to say how you want to generate the heat map. You know, when you want to, what camera, when to start, when to end, and it automatically collects the information about the trajectory of the people, because as we detect them, we keep track of them across the camera, and then it tells you, where they spend most of their time.
Can you identify the orientation of the customer?
Well, what we can do is that we draw a trajectory. So instead of this view, there was another view here that would have showed you all the trajectories. So and it implicitly, if you use the face as the source, you know that these are going to be customers that face you. That's one way. If you use the whole body, they could be looking other way. That's true. Yeah.
I see.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.